So we like to look at Euro AED from a weekly perspective to see how the price action was bearish at the moment. You can see it's bearish from 2008. The EU value started up from 2.01 to 1.65 per year price. This is the value of AED. So what this technically means is that you will need 1.6495 Australian dollars for 1 euro, right? So it's bearish, and euro is really losing it to Australian dollar. The price keep falling. So I see from if ECB, European Central Bank, doesn't work on their monetary policy, I think AED might continue to do this quite high. And we can see from 2012, EU has worked on these monetary policies and begin to see significant push in the value of EU. So technically, let's use a structure to see where EU might be headed. At the moment, we have an ascending trend line, a dynamic structure of kept price since 2011, and very interesting one, where we see a break of structure and a possible retest. And the price has kept to this has been the line that has kept price on the weekly time frame. So on a weekly time frame, we want to align where we have the support structure, break of a support structure, break test one, break test two, break of a resistance structure, break test one, break test two, and break test three. Automatically making this a demand floor. So for every time price comes to this level, the Euro central bank monitoring policies make a tweak and the currency begin to make some serious adjustments. You can see here we have here an inverted head and shoulder, a reversal price action from a massive downtrend, in 2008, where Euro has lost grip from 2000 2.10084 exchange rate, and price fell entire of 2008, a great time of turmoil. Price dropped from 2008, price consecutively dropped to 2010 to 2011 before price formed the reversal price action, inverted head and shoulder, and the neckline broke down. Price keep testing the neckline of this head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulder. This is an inverted head and shoulder, a reversal price action showing that trend is changing from bearish to bullish. So at the moment, EU is trying to return back to its mark as it was in 2008 when EU was changing for 2.10804. But there are prevailing conditions that show so strengthening the economy is not a verbal thing; it's an economic indicator. Where we look at GDP, we look at the standard of living entirely of the whole thing, look at how sustainable the political structure is before you can begin to see your currency, look at your level of productivity and the trading balance. These are things that begin to affect the country strength of currency. We also look at global demand, the FX window. So who is holding your cash on reserve? So these are things that is what makes US the king in the FX life. So let's look at it and dive in and see where we can get from here. Critical, we have price. So let's see what we can find. I think price returns here in a double structure. Price is left upper price from the double structure. We have price changing and let's see what happens here. We have here so a breakout from a descending trend line. of this structure weekly. I like this structure after price updating the demand floor. The demand impulse has gone on to push price. So we have here demand floor, a break of resistance structure, price returns here on demand, on demand, breakout from the demand floor, and we have a retest here, a break and retest after price breaks away from ascending trend line and has shown us a significant drop. From there, we had a drop where we found another support. So this has been the dynamic support of the price on weekly, and respectfully, we came here in the month of November, and the price action activated golden price. So in the future, this becomes a sell litmus test that the breakout from this structure will ultimately sink a euro. Australian economy is getting strong, so we want to see graphically what the monetary policies are doing, how they affect the people. We are not in Australia, but we are trading Australian dollar. So the price returns back and this becomes an area of confidence we have look at price in the future on a weekly time frame and daily continue to hold this bias. The price returns here, this becomes the current demand flow. So whatever brings price to this area is a critical buy, and this has maintained a critical buy position showing area of demand. And every time price comes in, monetary policies change. Every time price comes in, monetary policy change. So EU is doing all it can to restore and strengthen EU. So Euro has been trying its best, and at the moment we have descending trend line. We want to see a breakout to that. So let's look at the structure quickly and see if we have a breakout after price try attempts to tap a new high where we picked price action from a strong resistance structure in this zone. We have a resistance structure, a breakout of structure and a retest. This is a retest and this is the final retest. They are all in the same zone. So this becomes our roof in the future where we look at a potential sell, where I consider it to be a strong bearish zone. A lot of people call it bearish areas, but we look at it as areas where institutional money want to sell. I believe they hide here for a very long time since breakout from 2020. After price break of structure, price came retested and returned again, and we did that again in the month of July 2024. So critically price returns here, I want to see here as area of sell. But on a very good day, the market is very choppy and lack of liquidity. So if price breaks out from here, then we want to go long to retest a long-term broken ascending trend line. So if we come here, that will give us an opportunity, an ample time to sell euro. So what this represents is actually the true value of the currencies against each other. Euro is the best currency and AUD is the good currency. So it's very common to see it that you will need currently today you will need about 1.64919 Australian dollar for 1 euro. That is what it means. So this is what this is a true exchange rate. So it's not a play, it's not a gimmick thing. This is a true fact. This is what's going on. So if you're in Australia, give me a thumbs up and tell me how much your money is changing for euro, if I'm wrong or right. So if you're in Australia at the moment, you're going to change for 1 euro, you will need 1.64918 Australian dollar for 1 euro. That's what it means. So let's see what happens. And the week opened well for euro. Euro, found their mojo and continue to make an upswing. I believe on technical that euro might continue to uptrend. But for euro to continue to uptrend, there have to be some hurdles that will be crossed. Those hurdles will be litmus test where I begin to look at from the body candle, and let's say if we got a descending trend line and hope to see a breakout from the descending trend line. So this become a new litmus test. So if price breaks out from here, I want to see price. These are new descending trend line. So we're using the body of the candle excluding the wicks. The reason for this is when you switch to your line chart, we are actually picking because we cannot switch back to line chart. So we want to get the values that we would have gotten if we switch to our line chart. So if we switch to our line chart, the key point areas you're going to see on the line chart is going to be here, the resistance structure and the resistance structure. So we have the two resistance structure to create a descending trend line. So what does this mean? It becomes a very critical resistance point where if price is broken, if price breaks above this level, then Euro is ready to go long. Euro is now ready to go long. So for now, be very skeptical about going long in Euro. But the moment we break out from this descending trend line, then be ready to go long. Just be ready to go long. We have our floor, a buy demand structure that have kept price after a breakout of structure in the month of March 2023. Price retested and moved and will return in the month of June 2023 and will return in June 2024. Will return again in October and will return again in November, and price will swing with a double structure, showing a reversal price action. So there is a very big probability that price will break the descending trend line. On break of the descending trend line, then we use the broken move as a demand floor for uptick. So we also need to look at fundamental analysis surrounding EU. We look at if there are other upcoming events that might give us that trust. So if we have a strong fundamental from the side of Euro that favors Euro, then we'll begin to see a possible swing that could technically break the descending trend line to open the pathway to go long. So this is EU at the moment, and we sent a broadcast on EU buy. We had EU buy in our previous post. Go watch EU buy in my previous post. Go watch it. We posted last month EU buy, and it's based on structure. So we look at it in depth using the UV analysis, and I believe that um, there are still points to be filled. I want price to return to this area. A return to this area will be a significant drop. The last time price came to this area, it married with a strong rejection. But first of all, I want to see price breakout from the descending trend line, the weekly descending trend line. So a breakout from there, be ready to go long. So be patient. We'll continue to monitor it to see how the price action goes. And as soon as price comes to our area of value, we will come online and share it. Shabby FS Hub. We analyze anything gold, copper, silver, crypto, indices, stock, whatever it is, whatever tradable in the financial market, we can analyze, we can interpret it because we are market structure specialists. We understand that market is discounted and well calibrated, and there are market makers. So because they make markets, they know where they want to buy and where they want to sell. So it's up to you to learn how to analyze charts so that you know where they are hiding and position yourself appropriately.